Hi, Senator Feinstein is joining us now from Capitol Hill. Senator, clearly you were insulted by what Senator Cruz said. Walk us through your thinking.
Well, I just felt patronized. I felt he was somewhat arrogant about it. And, you know, when you've come from where I've come from and what you've seen, and when you found a dead body and you put your finger in bullet holes, you really realize the impact of weapons. And then as you go up the technical ladder with these weapons, and they become more sophisticated and more the product of a battlefield, and you've got these huge clips or drums of 100 bullets out there that people can buy. When you see these weapons becoming attractive to grievance killers, people who take them into schools, into theaters, into malls, you wonder, does America really need these weapons? My answer to that is no. And so it's based on my experience. And I think, well, the bottom line is we passed the bill out of committee by a vote of 10-8. The president has issued a very strong statement in support of it.
You think he's doing enough, though? You think he's doing enough behind the scenes to help you get this passed through the Senate? Well,
I think it's now going to begin. I think it's now out of committee. Every Democrat voted for it. Hopefully, we will have the debate before too long on the Senate floor, and we will see. It's going to be my intention to divide the question so that hopefully I want to sit down with the leader. There will be two votes, one on the entire bill and one on the part that prohibits clips and ammunition feeding devices of more than 10 bullets.
Did you have a chance to speak to Senator Cruz after that public exchange?
No, I needed to cool down.
Have you cooled down yet?
I've cooled down.
So when you see him the next time, what will you say?
Oh, yes. Well, I did say, look, I'm sorry, but, you know, this is one thing that I feel very passionately about. And I appreciate the lecture, but, and that's all I'm going to say.
Senator, you know that you have a good chance of expanding background checks, probably less of a chance ultimately of getting those magazine clips reduced, probably no chance, given what's going on in the House of Representatives, maybe even in the Senate, of passing that military-style assault weapons ban. Are you willing to take what you could get, namely background check expansion?
Well, you know, every single member of the media has come out at me exactly the same way. You know, if this were something that maybe had 10% support out there, 15%, 20%, I would say you've got something. But every single public opinion poll has shown that a majority of Americans polled, every one of them, over 50%, and some of them close to 60%, want this bill passed. So I have a hard time understanding when you have police chiefs, when you have virtually every religious organization, you have the healthcare profession, we have teachers, we have moms, we have police. It's hard for me to understand how one special interest groups, some assault weapon owners, and the gun organizations and the gun manufacturers really rule the day. That's very hard for me to understand. Again, I'd understand it if the people didn't want it. But the people do want it. So I hope the people make the connection now with their representatives in the West, in the Midwest, in the South, and in the East, and say, yes, we agree with the polls. We want this bill.